Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Cato again for another episode of Off the Rails, a show where we normally have no topic whatsoever, but tonight we have a topic. And alongside me is my cohort and the one who has the power, so says his thing there, Inu Tabi. And
Hello,
below
everyone.
us is the one and only Ace from Ramen Toy. If you don't know who this man is, he's the one making our childhood dreams come true. That's exactly. Ace, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good, Kato and Eric. Thanks for having me on the show.
Sure.
Appreciate it very much.
For anyone who doesn't know, as folks start coming in, we were going to do this show tonight anyway, kind of a last minute thing, and then I kind of reached out to Ace and said, "Hey, we're going to be talking about your fancy new vehicle tonight. And
Mm,
oh, do you want me on?" The answer is yes.
yeah.
Anytime you say that, the answer is going to be yes. So I appreciate it.
Well, you had the invitation to me first, right? You said you're invited to
Oh
come for
yeah,
the
I'm
show,
I'm
and
I'm I'm having a show.
yeah,
Please come
and
on if you'd like.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Real quick,
I'm not,
going
I'm not, a, I'm
through.
not a show crasher, so let's
You
get
can
that out of
crash the
the way.
show anytime. You can crash the show anytime. So before we go too much further, we're going to say hello to the folks in the chat. The Canuck is here. I think he was
Come on.
there last night
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Laser Pants dropped by
Yeah.
for the algorithm. Good old
Yeah.
Laser Pants. Apparently, I'm here saying thank you
Kato's
to
here.
him. Jason's here. Brian George.
On our AWOC folks.
Rudy Zizou, one of the coolest folks from the UK that I know. Jarrett is here as
Yeah.
always. Appreciate you, Jarrett. And Derek is here as, again, more folks start to line in. So, Ace,
hmm
I jokingly said that you're making our childhood dreams come true, but is it fair to say that you're making your childhood dreams come true too?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm doing this first and foremost. It's for myself. I'm a selfish guy, so sorry. It's for myself. There's a lot of stuff that I envision how it should be, and I'm trying to apply my little dent in the toy verse, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, along the way, if you like what I envision, then join the wagon, and then let's have a time together. Yeah.
Well, one thing for sure is uh, the one thing you've done to kind of change the game is you involve the community a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot. And
Yeah.
you ask questions, you take advice, you take criticism, you take praise, you take any kind of tidbits from folks to say, oh, I like this idea, or maybe that's not the best idea. But you take all that in and then kind of make a decision from there where you base it off of stuff that you want for sure. But then you reach out to folks like us, collectors out
Yeah.
there on your social media, which by the way, I have your YouTube, your Facebook, and Instagram all tagged in the description below. So anyone who's not following Ace on some format, you can find it all in there. Um, what made you want to do that? What made you want to reach out? Because there's a lot of risk in that. Because collectors are opinionated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, myself, I'm never call what the pot calls the kettle black. So never
Mhm.
do that. Always look in the mirror and all these things, right? So I myself is a critic. Before I embarked on this journey, I was also looking at other things. I'm also buying some other stuff. I'm a buyer, a collector. I collect things that other people make, other companies make. I have my opinions, I have my critics. You look back and you think about it and you say, oh shit, did I say those things? Because yeah, when you are not in the when you have no skin in the game, then or you don't know what's in the inner workings, then you are free to have your freedom of opinions, which is fine, right? So myself, I was critical of things before, which I now look back and say, oh wow. So it's like karma, right? I believe in karma, so I'm getting my karma for the folks who are saying stuff to me that I've said to people. So that's my karma. So I'm taking it, right? I'm taking it. So yeah, I embark on this because I really don't know what else to do. My friends, my peers, they are businessmen, they are bankers, lawyers, doctors, what have you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I came out from the military in 1999 before Y2K. and I was like 21, I think, and I had no future. I was selling my toys on eBay and made some money. And then I said, "Oh, I'm out of toys. Where do I go for toys?" So I went to Japan, bought more toys, sold more toys, and then I guess the rest is history. I just started making toys at the end of the day. Yeah.
So I mean, you don't have to go into this too much, but did you have a connection in the toy making industry that made you think that it was possible to do your own thing? Because I mean, just any old collector, I can't imagine just waking up one day and going, "Hey, I'm going to reach
Right.
out to a factory and see if
Yeah.
I can get some stuff
Right.
made."
Right. So along the time when I was woken to this whole thing is I would say in the early 2000s when I was going to Singapore, my hometown, and there's a place that is a little bit out in the reaches, and there's a toy shop, right? And those toy shop, those guys are going to Hong Kong, Japan, getting stuff in, and then one time they were actually selling some boots, army boots that they said, oh, they made them themselves. All right, so they were kind of proud that they actually made all these army boots for the 12-inch figures. So it's their own product. So that was when I realized, oh, you can actually make stuff, right? And then my journey took me to Hong Kong, where I worked for a company in toys, e-commerce, Action HQ. For those of you who can Google it, that was in the past. And then the company actually embarked in the first ever licensing project, which was the iRobot bust. So that was when I first got exposed to actually, copying stuff, because what they did was they actually used the one-to-one scale iRobot bus that was a premium from buying some DVDs. They bought that bus, and then they asked the factory to reduce it half size and make it a 1:2 scale iRobot bus. So that's when I realized, oh, that's how you do stuff, right? You can actually reverse engineer and then get something done. So obviously, from then I got exposed to the factories. We got the company took the other license like Robotech from Toynami. It's like a co-branding, and then in 2007, when Transformers movie first came out, they got the Transformers movie, and then we were doing simple stuff like magnet hits, bust. So that was when I really got involved with my increment in painting and looking at sculpts, and I helped the company out with my aspect, painting and stuff, and then the rest is just, like I said, history. We just rolled on. Yep.
That's pretty incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a cool thing to come from that and then end up saying, I'm just going to make stuff that I like and hope other people like it too.
Yeah.
The downside of that, I guess, is, and I guess the way you work a lot is you don't have the build numbers, the quantity numbers of the big companies, right? So you don't have that, the ability to get the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000
Wow.
piece order. Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be
Nice,
nice to
nice,
get?
yeah.
So what you do then is the next best thing. That is, reach out to the folks, find out how many want it. If you think there's a possibility of making 1,000 or so, then it at least makes it worth the trouble of doing. And you've said before, for folks that don't know, last night you were on the 3POA podcast, Loose but Complete, with
Yep.
our good friends Jeremy and Laser Pants. They have a great show. Go subscribe to them too. There's plenty of us that you can watch that all have good stuff. But you had mentioned that, or I'll go back to what I was saying. You reach out to folks, make a certain quantity, and try to make it worth your while to actually make stuff at a quantity that makes a little bit of money back, or at least gets a little bit of popularity. So, and to do that, you talk to folks, you go on social media, you announce what you're doing, and you say, hey, what do you think of this? And folks bite. And I bit on Silverhawks. I wasn't personally as big a fan growing up as Centurions, although I thought they looked great. It just wasn't something that I was really into. As I had a couple, but when you said Silverhawks, I was like, I got to have a Quicksilver. Then you announced, then later you announced Machina, which was an immediate order. I ordered it right away. It's sitting in the cart. Look, it's just looking at me, waiting for shipping, and really looking forward to that. And what brought it to our attention, we've talked about it before, Inutabi, that as Transformers fans, we've been spoiled over the years. We've had third party companies building stuff for us for, a decade or two now.
Yeah.
And we've said for a long time, man, if somebody comes in the game and starts doing really good quality third party action figures, it's going to change everything. And there you are, changing everything. So I appreciate what you do for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know, I'm pretty sure Inutabi feels the same way.
Yeah, I came across the site basically when you'd finished up the Sky Commanders or the 80s Commanders, sorry. Because I had one of them, the Land Commander, I forget what his name was, the brown one with the big rocket, and I missed everything. So then I saw the website and I saw people posting photos like, oh, what's this? I hadn't seen this before. And then you started doing, one thing after another, and then it was like the mass car, and so very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Rudy says that Ramen Toys and Ace's approach to the toy business very refreshing. Awesome job on Antagonist Cyborg, by the way.
Thank you.
Rudy's the man. Larkin's Lair, good friend. Love that you own up to it. Having skin in the game ain't easy. That is a fact. Having skin in the game costs money. Let's see. Oh, thank you very much, Canuck. I appreciate you very much for the toy fund. Hell Kato, Inutabi, and the great Ramen Toy Man Ace. Hell chat, hell mods. Let's have a great show. Thank you, Canuck. I appreciate you very much.
Very nice.
What's going on, Grimlock? So let's move on to what we really wanted to talk about tonight. Originally, I wanted to talk about the new fancy new car that you have sitting over your right shoulder, and I've got a few pics here from your Facebook page.
Great.
That we're gonna buzz through. Inutabi, if you can keep an eye on the chat, because you know how it is. I can't see once I start my po man single screen. So this is the base model, right? This is how the Ramen Racer comes right out of the package. You order it. This is what you get, which in and of itself is fantastic. Now, is the base model based on anything other than the vehicle itself? Is the base model itself part of any of the themes like the FF or BL or anything like that?
Well, it has certain rims. It has certain grills. It's a bit of, it's not the complete article yet, right? The base model it's an article, but it's not complete if you want to get something of that version. So if you want to get GR, you're missing the blower, you're missing the flames. If you want to get BL, you're missing the tail lights and the hood. If you want to get FF, you're missing the front grille. So you need all those stuff, and it's all available in a single pack, or rather 2 packs. If you are getting the GR, if you just want the BL and FF, you can get one single pack, another $11. You can get those, and you can change it out as and when you like it. And then another $11 for early bird get you the flames. So that is the base model. Yeah.
So essentially, just like buying a car, this is your stock Ramen Racer. I love it. I think
if you call it that, sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's probably plenty of folks that just want a cool Dodge Charger-esque vehicle that can fit their 6-inch figures in, and that's fine. I mean, that's the option you have. So here's another side view of it. It's a beautiful car. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you said it's going to be injection molded in color, right?
Yes, that's right. Because with a toy like this that you want to play with, you can't really paint it. The moment you paint it, the moment you touch it and wear it, it's gonna have some effects, and something's gonna give. And that's not what we want. We want to have something a long lasting, and the only way to go about it is a injection plastic. Yeah.
And make no mistake, I guarantee you're going to start seeing people buy this and the add-on packs and customizing the heck out of it. People are going to be painting this thing. You just
Oh,
wait.
great.
The toy customizers are going to have a field day. Not
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I'm no good at it. Of course, there's a top view, which again, absolutely beautiful. Man, that looks good. That chrome gas cap. Love the wheels.
Those are renders, by the way. Full disclosure. Those are
Sure,
renders.
sure.
And we want to make the thing look exactly like the render. So one of our goals is that we have to make our stuff look like the render.
Well, that's good. You're setting a high bar for yourself.
Yeah.
And this is one of the first product shots that you put out,
That's
of
right,
course,
that's
beside Ghost Rider.
Yeah, this was at the factory, so I was so eager to take some pictures. I just took some pictures over there. Obviously, the background is not very good. The camera is not good because it's an iPhone. The focal length and all these things is not correct. So I mean, folks may not realize, but once you have the wrong lens and the wrong setup, you can make something look bad, even though it isn't that bad. So
that's what I tell people about
right there.
Let's put
that's
this
what
way,
I tell people
never
about
make it
every.
look good. Yeah.
That's what I tell people about every picture they ever take of me. Blame it on the lens.
Yeah.
It's all about the lens.
Yeah.
Here we have little
There
Ghost
we go.
Rider.
That's a
Love
proper
that
picture,
interior.
That's a
Love
proper
that
picture.
interior.
Yeah.
Look at steering wheel.
He looks thrilled to be there.
And the interior is not exactly what it's going to be because I gave some simple instructions to the factory to just paint it for me. But obviously, as you can see, those who have eagle eyes will know that some parts are not meant to be that brown. It's supposed to be black. For example, the rest of the steering inside is black. Only certain parts is brown. So I'm going to tweak all that in the final piece, of course, including the side of the door. Right, the side of the door is not all leather brown. It's the inside is black. Only the side is brown. And we got some comments about the ugly looking screws on the door. That's because again it's a prototype. We had to put two pieces together, and it will not be this case in the final piece. The final piece will be a snap-on. You just mold it in such a way that you snap on, right? So this kind of snap-on tabs, it hinders the prototyping process because it's easier to make a slab and you put it together than to start making a tab and then a female joint so that you can tab it together. Why waste the time when you're making a prototype? A prototype is a proof of concept and get it out there. So certain things are done in a more layman way, right? In a more crude way, so to speak. So again, the screws are there because it's a prototype. It will not be just like how you can see me having that little sticker, which is supposed to mimic the mirror, but I placed it a little bit off center, you see, and it's not even cut right because it's a circle. You can see that jagged edges because there's no die cut. We don't have a die cut yet to cut that diameter of the circle of the chrome stickers. And even the side mirrors are chrome. It will be chrome electroplated plus a sticker on the inside because the sticker creates that extra little layer as if it is a piece of mirror against a metal side mirror. So that's the sort of thing.
So there's a lot of questions coming up in the chat. I promise you we're going to answer some of them as we go.
All right.
Some of these are going to be answered as we go through a little bit, such as, well, mostly people are saying that it looks great. I think you're probably harder on yourself than any fan could ever be, because you could sell me that right now and I'd be like, this is such a badass car.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's bad.
Fantastic.
Plenty of True Star Screamer saying he'll photograph it for you.
Okay,
Dark Conan, we're going to get to the price as soon as we show a little bit more, because Ace does actually have prices. He announced it last night. Well, even earlier than that, but definitely last night. We also I have the couple of videos that you posted that premiered last night on the Loose but Complete. So we'll show some of that. Yeah,
and full disclaimer, right? Because the video has a background music which I licensed from Epidemic Sound, and if you don't have the license for that and you play it here, your channel will get demonetized for that particular clip.
That's okay. I don't monetize the live streams, so
just
I'm not worried about that.
Just making sure, right? Because the Laser Pants got that strike on copyright music. So
yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't, as long as it's not a strike and it's just a
Yeah, claim.
claim I'm all right.
Claim. Yeah,
I
sorry.
don't monetize live streams because you never know what's going to happen. For all I know, Inutabi could get up, start dancing naked, and I'm not ready for that.
Oh wow.
Might
Okay.
happen. Just saying.
Yeah, it's come close. All right, next up we got Iron Man hopping out of here.
Is that
Yeah,
Kato?
Masco.
That looks
So
like you in the car, Kato.
That's me.
Yeah,
That's me.
So this picture is meant to showcase, a Masco figure, how it fits, a Marvel Legends figure, how it fits, a Action Force figure, and basically two Marvel Legends of different size, a Masco and a Action Force. So the Action Force has actually a Masco head. If for those of you who are, again, eagle-eyed and can figure it out. Yep.
And the wheels on this one are from a specific kit.
Yeah, so this is from the interchange kit. And the reason why I shifted to the interchange kit is because, again, when I first came out with this vehicle, I just referenced these rims because I thought that these rims would look good when they are chrome plated because it has enough surface area, right? To do the vac metal. If you have those other rims, then there's less surface area to vac metal, right? So I chose this set of rims as the original wheels and rims to go with my original idea. Along the way, fans said, no, but this is not the rims on a Ghost Rider, on a Fast and Furious. Then okay, let's do the actual rims. So that's when I did the actual rims, and then we will put that on the base model, just like the orange Tiger Orange. They said it's not this rims. So okay, we will make the rims specific to that car, and when you get the base model, you will get that specific rim, and that's the deal.
It's funny. I wonder how many collectors, and I know I was one for the longest time, take for granted about all the tooling, the tooling it takes to actually make the molds, the tools to make the figure that you have to do first. Like you have to get the tools to make the figure to get it out. So it's not like as simple as like, hey, can I just change the wheels? Okay, let me make this entirely new device.
Yeah.
To cast out some new wheels. Here's our first look at the GR with the flames. Man, you nailed it. So this is the full GR kit with the flames. Let me zoom in a little bit more. And you mentioned, and we'll show a little later, all the flames are individually lit.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Yeah, so you got Ghost Rider in there with some road rage. That looks beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome right there.
There's our first look at one of the interchange kits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the let's
Tail
see,
light.
this will be the tail lights bumper for the FF and BL.
Yep.
Okay. With the new wheels, new tail lights, new grill. Man, that looks so good. So that's interchange pack 1 or whatever you're going to number it. Then we've got the Inferno pack, which is the flames with the individual batteries. Or
so again, all those things will be transparent and final production. This is just recasted resin, and then they just painted it yellow for some reason.
Oh, okay. So each one of the battery packs are going to be translucent as well.
Yeah, you gotta be. Otherwise, it looks ugly with yellow. I was asking the factory why paint it yellow, man? Because it's either yellow or gray. Because it's primer, right? The recast pieces are not transparent. It's all like opaque plastic. So it's either white of the original material, or they'll paint it a primer gray. So I guess they had the color of best fit, which is yellow.
Dark Onan, an unnamed large company, should be taking notes. I think they watch. Oh, was there a supernatural version? See, I would also be, and trust me, plenty of fans are going to be shooting ideas out at you, but I would absolutely buy an Impala from Supernatural with a bunch of weapons loaded up in the trunk. 100%, I would get that. At first, I genuinely thought that was a Hasbro Selfie Series Kato. No, my Selfie Series Kato looks like somebody beat the shit out of me. I got like black eyes. It looks terrible.
That's a spot-on version of you, though. You need to get that figure.
That's great. All right, moving on. We got from the Inferno pack. We now have that's the full. That's the parts it takes to make this beast.
Oh wow!
So that's it.
Oh, not
That's
all
how
the
you
parts.
got
Some
it.
parts are not shown.
Oh, okay.
Some parts are not shown. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the wheels; they look good. Doors, everything. I love that undercarriage. I love a good
Look at the
undercarriage.
dual exhaust. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's
That
dual
dual
quad
mufflers
exhaust.
midsection.
Great.
Yeah.
Trunk, your seats, and we'll get to the fact that the seats are actually adjustable in a bit.
Yeah.
Is that armrest on the doors?
Yeah, you got armrest.
Is
Oh,
that right? Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
right
Yeah.
there.
Some armrest.
man,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah,
Damn, see that?
that's cool. All you got to do to make it like if you want to add one little final touch to an old Charger like this, you got to make it smell like stale cigarette smoke, and then you'll be sold. I mean, that's all it'll take. Which actually that brings me. You mentioned last night that for obvious licensing reasons, this isn't an exact 68, 69,
No,
70
no,
Dodge Charger.
no,
It's kind
no.
of a crossbreed between 68 and 70-ish. Otherwise, your Chrysler's
Yeah,
going
we're
to be
trying
knocking at your door.
to walk the gray path so that we are able to do this without too much restrictions. Because once you get restricted, then it's pretty much game over, right?
Yeah,
And
well, I think it's brilliant. I mean, it's what toy companies do now. It's what Transformers do. They don't make a Lamborghini; they make Lamborghini-ish. And I mean, honestly, I told you in chat before, you honestly could have an entire market just in 112 vehicles. I stick to that.
Yeah.
And then we go into the one that sold me. This is
Okay.
the one where I said, man, if this happens, I'm in. And that is the GL version. We'll just call it that, the GL version, the Tiger Orange. You've got the black and alloy rims down there. I mean, the only thing. Oh, what was that? Was that you, Ace? I wasn't watching.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, the General. So this is the one that we talked about. You and I chatted about that there was some concern about because of controversy or whatever. And I said, oh, just let the consumers decide, and I guarantee it'll be fine. But the Tiger Orange looks good. Love it. So cosmetically, not a lot of changes. You've got the indented hood. And I heard someone ask the other night if there's going to be a roll cage in there. Probably not. It's
No,
another bit of
unfortunately not.
tooling.
Yeah. No.
But again, you start getting it too similar and you get into issues.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have to retool something completely just to add.
Oh.
Because I think the only visible roll cage in the original General Lee was the A-frame roll cage between the back seat and the front seat. You would only see it like right behind the back seat. So
Okay.
we can add that ourselves if we want it. Side view with the appropriate tail lights. Again with the chrome. Love this. This is absolutely the one that I'm gonna display proudly in the collection right here. The side view, man, looks so good.
Yeah, so the Tiger Orange base model, what's different from the other base model is the rims and the front, what do you call that?
Push bar?
Yeah.
Push bar. Okay, push bar. Got to get the terms right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's redneck terms. I don't know what it's really called. I call it a push
Okay.
bar. But yeah, you got the tan interior, the right wheels on there. Yeah, I'm looking. Obviously, like you said, eagle eye viewers will notice that there are no decals on here. We'll talk about that in a bit too. But yeah, that looks so good. All right,
it's so big.
It is. I bet it is so big. We got, and then the last thing, one of the last slides I have here for the Ramen Racer, and later we'll get into some of the other stuff you got going on too, is you announced earlier today, that pre-orders are opening up Sunday, April 9th.
So shout out to Gary G for this poster. Yep.
Oh, that looks good. Did he take that photo or he made the whole poster?
Oh, I made the photo and he helped put everything together.
Love it. I love the Ramen Racer logo, the added checker flag there underneath the Ramen logo. Choose your version: base, stunt, inferno, and interchange. Yeah, I love it. 4923. So let me see what the next slide is. Yeah, we'll go into some of this other stuff later. Before we do that, let's talk about some of the questions folks have been asking.
Yes.
First off, price. So the way Ramen Toy normally works is there is a 30-day early bird and then a late tax, late comers, or the regular retail that will come after. What
Yeah.
is the full retail if you don't get the early bird?
250 for the base model. Yep.
Okay,
US
250 for the base model.
250. Yep.
The interchange kits full price.
1590. 15
That is
1590.
that is a ridiculously low cost on those. So
Yeah.
you cannot be making money on the
Yes,
interchange kit.
like I mentioned in the loose but complete, the whole idea of the packs is not meant to be the kaching part of the business. Is the car. You sell the car, and then you can add on stuff. While other concepts are different. You sell the car, and then you kaching on the accessories. But I don't think it's because accessories are you can do the math. You can do the if this is so big and that's so small, then why would that actually cost me more? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's just me. So
Now we're really going to blow people's minds. What's the early bird price?
early bird is 30% off 250, which is 175, and then 30 off that 1590 is $11.
Do you know how many Transformers I have back here that some of them I don't even like all that much because they're made like crap that I paid 175 for?
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
I'm going to fall over myself on pre-order day to get the Tiger Orange at 175.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, do you need any of the interchange kits to get the full experience of the
Tiger Orange? No.
Yes.
No.
So that's amazing. So the Tiger Orange base is complete.
Is exactly what you want. And
Wow.
we introduced just last night the sound module.
Yep, which actually we're going to do right now. This is only about 33 seconds, folks, so enjoy this. Let me tell you that I almost peed my pants a little bit when I heard that horn. When I heard that horn, I was like, I think I even posted on. I didn't even announce it well enough on Facebook because I've been sharing your stuff left and right lately. So I put that up there, and all I could say was, "Yes, they added the sounds. They added the horn. Man, I love it. Love that."
So initially, Kato, making a sound module, it requires an IC, right? A chip. And the chip makers, they don't make 100, 200, 1,000. They make thousands of pieces, right? Because it's that cheap, so to speak. But in order for me to make the order, I have to make the minimum order as well. So even though it's cheap for one, when I have to make the minimum order, I take out a bunch, a lump sum. And that's the difference for us, right? The reason why we are apprehensive to make different sound modules is because of that minimum quantity, which is pretty maximum. So initially I thought that, I'm just going to put the same module for all the cars, whether it's orange, whether it's black, maybe in future we got red and blue. But, the calls for that horn is so intense that I say, let's just do it, because that's the whole idea of Ramen Toy. You are going to get something that you want and not get something that you sort of want but don't want, So that's what is the decision. Yeah.
There's a couple things that you almost can't do a GL without the horn.
Yeah.
Then without the decals. decals.
Yeah.
So a lot of folks in the chat, everyone, I was one of them, was asking, what about the decals? Because honestly, an orange Charger isn't controversial. It's nothing to worry about at all. But there's, no matter what we want to talk about, there's going to be some controversy around how this car looked in the 80s. Even though if anybody ever watches that show, they'll realize that was one of the nicest, that was some of the nicest people that's ever been on TV.
Exactly.
But so could you answer the question of, are decals going to be available?
Yeah, so it's already in my item description when the listing goes up. In fact, we put the item description on the Facebook page along with the pictures of the Tiger Orange. So it says there, sticker sheet is included upon request. So all you need to do is when you put in the order, there's always a note in our website, a note section, and you can just put, you just want stickers, and it will probably be I'll have to work it out. Maybe it's fulfilled by a third party, meaning that the stickers will be sent to you separately, and that's it. At the end of the day, you'll get stickers if you want stickers. Yep. So
right.
It's not factory applied. You apply yourself. Of course, if you're worried about the quality of the stickers, we will look at what is in the market for good quality stickers for that kind of models, and we'll apply those kind of stickers. So you're not going to get like easy to tear stickers. You're not going to get like funny embossed PVC stickers. No, you're just going to get the stickers that will be applicable for the model. That's what
you don't want to do something as awesome as a great vehicle and then half-ass the stickers. Right?
Yeah,
that's really it. So just to clarify for anyone who was missed that, yes, decals are going. Yes, appropriate decals for that vehicle will be available. If you pre-order, leave in the comments, please add the sticker sheet, and the rest will be taken care of. And you'll leave it up to the consumer to put whatever decals they want. If they don't want the top decal, don't put it on.
Yeah.
If all you want is the 01, you're good with that too.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to go. Options, leave it to the consumer. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Now I do have the longer video that you premiered last night on the 3POA podcast. So it's about, so everybody, let's see, we got some people in here now.
Which I made myself, by the way. So I got to plug in there. I made it myself.
Yeah, so that was awesome. To the folks that made the song that I don't have the rights to, I apologize. I'm going to play it anyway, and we'll see what happens. But this is about 3 minutes, 15 seconds long, but I promise everyone in the chat it'll be worth the watch. don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to
It-
say, dude.
it-
How in the hell does it feel to like have something in your head and then have it come to life in a figure form? I asked Jason from Spiro Toys the same thing, to see it actually pop out into real life and then see folks actually want to get it.
yeah, surreal. It's
It's gotta be surreal.
fulfillment. Yeah, it's good.
Man, that video, that is awesome. Sam Newsman in the house.
The
Retro,
newsman.
artistic, modern, 80s nostalgia. For those that don't know, Ramen Toys is an acronym for those exact words right there. That is all it needs to be stated. Ramen Toys executing, as I always say on my radio show, to be successful, that is, set the standards and raise the bar. And for folks that don't know, Sam Newsman, the hardest working puppet in the
Yeah.
industry, reporting since Roswell, has a fantastic radio show every Saturday morning that plays some of your greatest memories that you'll ever hear. I listen to it every Saturday morning, whether I'm driving or not. Always have it playing. Good stuff. Great guy.
Good
I
stuff.
plan on seeing him at Joe Fest. He also has a YouTube channel and Instagram, so go follow Sam Newsman. Got to pay for some toys. That's right. So in that video, we saw a number of things. We saw the light up effects of the wheels,
Yes.
which look like they're spinning. I think that looks
Yes.
great.
So I want to just touch on that, if I may.
Sure.
All right. Let me just try to. So what I'm trying to achieve is actually a glowing, like the fire is breathing effect, right? So in this prototype, again, it's a prototype. You can see that what we are trying to do does not give us the effect that I want. So it's going to be improved so that we will see it sort of like this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, a little more pulsating
Yeah.
rather than
So it's
blinking.
more because right now the way it's being put together, you can obviously see the LED lights spinning, so to speak. So some people have already spot that and say, oh, it looks like Christmas lights. It's too slow. It's gonna be faster. But no, it doesn't have to be faster. You just have to have the right dispersion, and that's what we're gonna be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, you guys haven't failed to try your best to get like exactly what you want out there.
Yeah.
Robert Fortin, who also
Yes.
Robert Fortin
Robert.
runs the he's the admin of the Ramen Toys official fan
Fandom
group on
group.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want, of course, Ace and Ramen Toys has their own page that you can
Yes.
get a lot of news from, but the Facebook group that Robert admins is a place where we chat and talk and share stuff. So
Yeah.
that's a great place to get news as well. Princeton Phalanx, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. I don't know why that went away. There we go. How's it going with the last of the Seekers? When will it be shipped? Thanks. Love what you guys are doing. Keep up the great work.
Last of the Seekers is a Riot Press production. We're assisting them with the production. And we're currently, the first test shot has really landed into Patrick's hands. He's reviewing it. We're actually going to the second test shot really soon, and then once that's okay, we would expect production to start maybe in June, and then good to go.
That's awesome. And Junkie on Crafts and Bills, another great friend of the channel. This is a great year for independent creators, and that's one thing that we've talked about before. Right, Inutabi, like this is the year. This is the year for independent creators, and I love it. Folks like Spiro Toys, Savage Crucible, Valaverse, Ramen Toy. I mean, this is it. All these first party companies that
Allspike Studios, Fresh Monkey Fiction.
I don't know that one.
Yeah,
I might have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to use that tonight.
Yes.
Sure. All right. The asks, when will these?
So I'm aiming for December
guess-
shipment, and if I can get it out in time, it'll be great to have it for Halloween.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that would be a great little nod to the original idea, wouldn't it? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to it whenever it gets here. So April 9th, you can have my money. I always put that stupid little picture up to shut up and take my money thing. One thing I forgot to ask earlier, we talked about price and we talked about the 15 in change. That would be for the interchange packs and the Inferno packs. But we didn't mention the early bird special on those. So
Mm.
will be how much early bird?
Oh, $11 for the packs.
So
Yeah.
you could be out the door for 100 I can't do the math. Under $190, and you get
Yeah.
the
So a main concern that everybody has is the shipping. All right. So there are people who are saying that with the shipping in is as good as the Ghost Rider has left at 350. Well, yes and no, because we it's a big guy, and it's going to be around 3 kilograms in weight after with all the packaging and the shipping carton. It's going to be packaged in styrofoam, by the way, for full protection. So like the Super 7 Thunder Tank, it's in styrofoam, in a packaging box, in a shipping box with corner protectors, and that thing is already the minimum of the volume, right? We can't go more. If you want to go more, then it's a box in a box, and they got a bigger volume. So the bare minimum that we can protect it, the way I just described it, it's going to come in at that size. And then we've done some initial costing with freight forwarding companies that we work with that actually helps to fulfill the orders of Ramen Toy with all our figures so far. And again, sorry to just go off tangent. The whole idea is try to keep our products under a 2 kilogram volumetric weight. What's the word? Standard, so that every person that orders something from us is going to be, let's say, around less than or equal to $20 or $25 for shipping, right? So it's like if you buy a $100 figure or early bird 70, you add 20, 25. Okay, it's reasonable, right? So that's been the goal. But as we all know, when it came to the 3-pack 80s Commanders, then it can't fit under 2 kilograms. And then this guy obviously not. So are we going to just limit ourselves to making stuff that is within 2 kilograms volumetric weight, or can we expand it? So we have no choice. So this is a first litmus test where we actually are going to be shipping a product that's way above our normal size, and it comes with a cost, right? Myself, I have ordered a few things from the US from some friends there, because there's no Mo2 that's sold in China. And when he consolidated all the stuff and he told me the shipping, I was shocked as well. Why would I want to pay 150 US dollars? Okay, 150 US dollars to ship me 2 Battle Cats and 3 He-Man figures, right? So I was like, okay, hold on. So same thing. I experienced your pain. I know exactly what shipping cost feels like. So I know, and the initial assessment and quotation of 120 US dollars to ship this by air has been quoted by our, logistics partner, not me. I didn't dictate 120 US, right? They did, right? And they did based on their fuel costs, arrangements with DHL and FedEx. They work with these people, and that's the cost, right? Now, is that the only option? No, we have other options. We have a C option, but of course, people say, "Oh, we'll get it," 2 months, 3 months later. But that's the way it is. And again, I'm hearing different things, because I have again another person in China who is shipping plenty of mobile phone accessories by sea to the States, and he says 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks. So we are looking at 3 weeks to potentially longer if there is some screw up in the system that particular journey took place. And we never know. We'll never know, right? Sometimes things happens faster, sometimes things are delayed, and we all just need to understand what's going on versus making speculation and statements without factual evidence. But again, coming back, is that the only two options? No, it's not, because I'm currently working with people that I know who has companies in the US, companies in UK who are doing this line of business, but in die-cast models, and I'm asking them for a favor. Could I ship, you know, one container to you, or piggyback on your container, whatever it is, and then you charge me your handling fee for helping me to process sending out these cars locally when it arrives at your location in the US, in the UK. So we're exploring all these options, and that's why we need some time before we put up the listing on Sunday, right? So there's a lot of questions, a lot of eager buyers saying that, oh, I want to buy it now. Where's the link? What's shipping? How can you not know what's shipping? Yes, we are trying to find out. But in the meantime, having found out only two options, we are revealing those two options, which is again the air method of about 120 US dollars, or the C method, which is about 80, 70, $80. Okay. So that's our two current options so far, for again only for the US, China to the US, but we are exploring other options to try to actually minimize that shipping cost to you. So, you know, the whole idea of not knowing what's the shipping before you buy is not actually that valid. You can extrapolate based on that. It won't be more than 120, right? We're only looking at what could be less than 120. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the simple fact is it's not cheap to ship stuff, especially halfway around the world. And the I like the 3 week thing again, as a third party collector that buys from overseas a lot. Inutabi does too. We all buy from common stores, Show Z, TF Safari, very, very commonly buy overseas. 3 weeks is not anything new.
That's a very fast transit time for a container.
Yeah, that's pretty normal for when I order something from TF Safari. It's probably going to be 3 weeks. You know, after it actually, from the time it actually gets picked up somewhere onto a shipping partner. So I get that. And you also, again, we mentioned it earlier, you don't have the benefit of getting those massive overseas shipping discounts, because this isn't something you're doing at 5,000 quantity every month.
Yeah, but I don't want that to be an excuse. See,
Sure.
We're not trying to be like, oh, because we are not, then people will say, "No, so you should, go get, yeah, we do our best. We do our best.
Well, I definitely don't feel like you're, and I said the same thing when I got the Silverhawks Quicksilver. I don't feel like you're in the business of making money on shipping. And I know I say that lightly, but there are plenty of folks that do, that I don't really do business with anymore, that you can tell you're overcharging so that you can make more money on shipping. That's
I think
typical eBay
the
salesman.
information is so transparent nowadays that you can find stuff if you want to on Google. You can even ask the companies that the people are using to ask for a quote yourself, right? So as long as you are willing to go the extra mile to find out for yourself, things can be found out.
Yeah. It's easy to know now before you start bitching and moaning. Junkion says ship them to me. I can tell you this much: if that were the case, none of you would see anything ever again, and all that would be a bunch of Dodge Chargers lined up on the back shelf. So don't trust me with it. Larkin says the same thing: ship it to me, and I'll ship it to y'all for free. Yeah, let's try it. Let's do that. Make sure you ship. I'll give you my address. You got it actually from other orders. Just ship them all here. You'll get a lot of complaints, but I'll have a lot of cool shit. Have patience. All my video games take over a month if you buy them overseas, for sure.
Yeah, 3 weeks is awesome on a container shipment. That's impressive, actually.
Well, and Inutabi does that for a living, so he deals with overseas shipping constantly, so it's not anything new to him. Sam, I've been all in with Ramen once they released the 80s Commander 3-pack. Since they have arrived, I'm all in on that line and have ordered everything since and bought.
Thank you, Sam.
We're gonna show some stuff in a minute that I know Sam is eagerly waiting on.
Me too.
Yeah, and you too, actually. So we've before we move too much further, let's show some of the other stuff that you're working on.
Okay.
And that's some other stuff worth getting excited about, because you're not limited to just making a very cool car. You actually have, again, like I said, I absolutely love this Quicksilver. I think he's definitely I was about to say no shade to other companies, but honestly, I don't care. Definitely the best Quicksilver on the market.
Wow, that's a big
Hands down.
compliment.
Well, you didn't have a lot of competition, and the one you did have made one that looked really stupid. So, anyway, that's my opinion, and I'll
Okay.
stick to it. Yours is fantastic. So the other thing you have going, if I can zoom in right here,
Yeah.
is the 3 different verses of the Masters of the Verse head sculpt.
Yes.
And I went with this picture because it just did a good job of showing all 3.
Okay.
You are a huge Masters of the Universe fan.
Yeah, my very first toy is a He-Man. Yeah,
that's a great memory. So you, in this, you take the, in this case, this is the
Mattel.
Master of the Universe,
Yes.
Mattel, He-Man, Masterverse.
Classics, the Origins, and the
Yeah.
Masterverse.
Yep. And then you did a multiple head sculpts. You have a more Origins style squatty
Yes.
head sculpt here.
Yep.
And then more
Which is
realistic
not that
versions.
squatty. Sorry to interrupt, but with the actual pictures I took last night, it's not that squatty. Yeah.
Well, I think it's fitting because the Origin stuff is kind of, it's more of a fits the frame. But these other 2, we won't say that it's. I'll say it's Lolf Dungren's head. I think that looks great. I think that's awesome. And the one question, I think it got answered last night, but you're going to be repeating yourself a lot over the next few months. Yep. Will these come painted?
Yes. Painted. I wouldn't sell it otherwise. Yeah.
Well, I know like there's a lot of individual makers, 3D printers and stuff like that will sell unpainted heads, but I'd never assumed that.
So can I get a screen? So I want to show that our stuff is not 3D printed. It's actual tooling, right? It's it's not going to break. It's squishy and squash. It's not going to break. See, it's not a 3D print. So yeah.
Awesome. So, is there a reason that the head sculpt is separated from the hair, or will that just be glued later?
Oh yeah, that's just part of manufacturing. If you want to have injected in color, right, you got to separate it so that you don't rub off the color of the hair. See, that's it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that will do some fancy stuff with that particular head sculpt for that the person with whom that matches their face the most. Next up, there's another picture of the head sculpt you get with the Masterverse.
I'm still on full screen, by the way.
On the right. Oh, you're still on full screen?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for that. See, I told you I can't see once I start showing pictures.
There we go.
The original Masterverse head sculpt on the right. Yeah, the one on the right is not Ramen toy.
Yeah, but it's not bad. Clear. It's not bad. It's it's a decent head sculpt.
No, it is a decent head sculpt for what it offers, but when you compare it to the one on the left, yeah, that looks. Look, you got Lolf Dungren's lips going on there. I think that's perfect. And then one that I am absolutely excited for and will 100% pre-order day one, the Marshall.
The Marshall, yes.
Now, is this another line that you were a big fan of when you were a kid, or are you just filling other collectors' wishes?
Again, I didn't have the luxury as a kid to be watching all the cartoons that's on TV all the time, but I do get snippets of it, and for some reason, I always tend to get the good ones, the good snippets, the ones that gives me the best memories for some reason. So I definitely saw him on TV, and then it just struck me as something that I have to revisit. I didn't have any of the toys, by the way. Zero, nada, nothing at all. And what struck me is that the toys itself didn't have the right color per se of the character. So I'll be actually trying to do a figure that has a proper coloration that is close to the character in the animation.
Well, that's another thing that Transformers collectors take for granted. Like I've said, I get so much grief for this, but if it weren't for nostalgia, the characters and the toys from the 80s if you just sold the ones that were on the shelf in the 80s right now, never seeing them in the 80s, you would think they look horrible. Because
Yeah.
I mean they were toys for kids in the 80s.
Yeah.
But like what third party does for me, and we've talked about before in Utabi, is that these figures look like what I thought my figures looked like as a kid.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel about this Marshall. Like the original Marshall figure, in my head looked just like this until you actually see the old one, and it looks like, not like this. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Marshall. Of course, you can't have the Marshall without
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
And do you have a name for the rifle? I think the original rifle was called Sarah Jane, but we'll
just a
call it
rifle.
something else. Yeah, just a rifle. Now I'm curious, and I think other people are too. Will there be a horse mode for 3-0?
No, unfortunately, you can't change it into a horse mode.
Okay.
But
Just wanted to
they are
clarify
planned
that.
to make another figure if everything goes well
So you're saying there's a chance we can have a horse
by itself.
figure of 3-0.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And this is your head sculpt of the Marshall with the hat. Love it.
Yeah, prototype.
Love that. And of course good Lord, could I have gotten smaller pictures? Not all of this is accessories. Some of this will be molded onto the figure. Obviously, there's some joints in there, hand sculpts.
No, everything here you see is as it is because it's part of the tooling. Nothing is molded on. It's exactly what this is. It gets assembled together. That's all.
Right. I'm saying this is a disassembled figure, not necessarily just an accessory pack. This is let's see. You have a full size badge there. Is that
the shield? It'll be done in clear plastic. Yep.
All right. You got his butt up there. I think that's a nice butt, by the way. Good job.
That's Texas butt.
That's that Texas ass. That's right.
Yeah, that's Texas ass.
That's that best ass in Texas. All right, moving on to another one of the ones that I am probably the most excited for. Outside of the GL Ramen Racer, this is the one I am the most excited for, and that is the red gull wing.
Yep.
Now, am I selfish to ask if this stand comes with it? Because
it comes with a stand.
Oh, all right.
It comes with a stand. Stand included.
Included.
Okay.
But this is obviously the red gull wing in its flight mode with bumper extended. I love that. This is I've got a few original mask figures and toys. I got the rhino and a few things back there behind me that are in horrible shape except for the rhino. Then we have Lord, I forgot the third part. I forgot your name for this. It's the
Great White.
Great White. I almost said the not your name, the Great White. And you've got a video you got a few videos of this on Facebook. I didn't bring those over, but everybody go over to the Facebook page and show the transformation, the flip out periscope, the wing, the I don't know what we're calling them, the parts that pop out of the hood, the fins that come out of the hood, the additional fins underneath that connect it to the windshield, which I know you struggle with that for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like really trying to come up with a way to get the pop-up fins to look more accurate by reaching the windshield.
Yes. And we've gone through 4 iterations of the Great White. And many people ask, why did we not start with this? It's because we did start with this. We started with the Great White. But it happens that the development took the Great White behind the queue against the gull wing because we couldn't fulfill the transformation sequence that was acceptable for collectors. Yep.
Very cool. Rudy, I love all the intricate details with the Marshall, the color palette, the visor, the headset, the shawl, taking it to the next level. Really looking forward to this. And you actually have 2 different colors, right, for the chest?
See, the thing is that there is 2 different colors, and we were trying to figure out which color should we go with. So I'm still in flux. Right. I'm still trying to,
that's really zoomed out. And then there's another picture of the Great White transformed. or
Yes.
convert, whatever you want to call it, converted with the periscope up, fins out.
Yes.
The rear wheels are spring loaded, right?
Yes. Spring loaded.
Spring loaded. And the side fins here are manual.
Manual. Yes.
All right. The wheels flip down. And you can see here,
The wheels
anyone that
flip
hasn't
in.
seen this,
Flip in
flip,
versus
yeah,
flip down. It flips
flip
up.
in.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Then these fins pop up, and these extra little bits store on the underneath. And if you want to, you can plug those in to complete
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
all the way up to the window. I think it's a lot of genius engineering to give everyone, to do your best to give everyone what they want.
Yeah. It's just our best.
Then
We're pretty confident the third party Transformers guys can do a better job, actually.
I gotcha.
Seriously, yeah, seriously.
All right, and that's all the pictures I have here. I think going through. We'll I don't think I have. Yep, that's it. That's it for the pictures. So we can talk about some of that. But I wanted to go through some of your other stuff before we completely before we end. But mainly, I was glad to talk about the Ramen Racer and how much money I'm debating on getting two, but I know I'm getting one. I know I'm getting the
All right.
GL. That's going to happen.
Okay.
But part of me wants to get two just to support. I'm sure. I don't know. God, I hate these. These are terrible first world decisions that have to
You
be
gotta
made.
have two. Come on, man.
I know.
Jeez.
That means I got to have two and the interchange kit and the Inferno kit.
Right.
And man,
For as cheap as the kits are, you might as well get them all, right?
there's basically two kits, right?
Yeah, two kits.
Yeah.
You have the Inferno, which
Gotta
is
get
both.
the
Interchange.
LEDs and the flames,
Yeah.
and then the interchange, right?
Yes.
And I don't know if you have it available, but I know last night I don't want to put you on the spot, but you showed a little bit of how that interchange works.
Right.
Do you have the ability to do that now? I know this was kind of a last minute thing.
Yeah. So what I did was
I'm gonna full screen you here.
okay. So these are the flame effects, right? So what happens is that you will just pop them out like so, and the wheels, well, the rims will just pop on like that. Magnets.
Oh, okay.
You just remove it by magnet, right? You will remove this piece here. So last night I had trouble putting this on because I forgot to take out the piece here, so it was obstructing the way. So just take it off. You get the BL version, right? And then when you take this off and you put this on, there you go. So you get this version. And then when you go to the back side and you have the BL version, you can take this off and you put on the stock base model version, and then it just turns on over here. Let me just find the switch. There we go. That's the full on mode. All right, that's the full on mode. And
Man.
that's it.
Absolutely genius. Love the magnets. I think that makes I love the magnets like you introduced for me. You introduced the magnets with Quicksilver,
Right.
With having the good old bird on his arm there. I love that, man. I love that sound. Let's talk real quick about power. How is this thing going to be powered?
Okay, you have two options. The first option obviously is via a USB-C connection on the fuel cap here. So you just take this out and there's a USB-C. Okay, you just plug it in and you can get always on. You get always on power. Don't have to worry about batteries. But of course, if you don't like the wire sticking in, Then you can. By the way, I'll show you the wire. So it's a simple USB C to
Mhm.
USB A, and you just plug it in, right? Just plug it in. There we go. That's it.
Let me
Right.
tell you
Plug
what
it
I
in.
know I'm going to have done. So
Right.
we know a couple folks that do 3D printing. I'm
Right.
going to have someone 3D print me a gas, like a 1960s gas pump,
Key.
and I'm going to have my USB running straight through that, and it's
That's a
going to
good
be
idea.
always in,
Okay.
sitting on the shelf with a gas,
Right.
a gas
And
pump there beside it. That's what
and
I'm doing.
the other option is which we are going to implement as we go along, because this wasn't part of the plan, is to have a separate battery pack that is rechargeable, that is independently sold. For those that do not like this configuration, you can have this battery pack, which will connect to the toy, to the model, and then again you charge that battery pack independently again via a USB charging. Once it turns green, you're good to go, and then you just plug it into a connection tag, which we will device and implement in the model in the trunk, and then you can plug it in, put that battery pack in the trunk, and then you're good to go without the cable, and you can power on your unit.
Now, is that an either or option? Like, are you saying that you will definitely have a USB option,
Yes,
and
and you
you
definitely
will?
will have an option of a battery pack
Okay,
sold
all right,
separately. Sold
yeah,
separately.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
because
So
the
if
whole
you
idea
want,
is that we don't want to have any batteries with the model at the time of shipping,
sure,
because
because they don't want to. You don't want to
shipping
ship
something with
lithium. Yeah, yeah,
shipping something with batteries even costs even more, right?
Yeah.
There's more protection to go to ship a lithium ion battery product, and you're
Yep.
going to end up paying more. So do you want to pay more, or do you want to just plug in a USB-C or get a separate battery pack, which you can probably do? We'll try to find something that's universal, so you don't have to buy it from us and then you go to ship it in again, right? We'll find something that is actually available overseas, that is made
right.
in China, available overseas. We'll see what the plug is, and we'll make it so that it fits universally.
Sure. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, there's plenty. Model car guys have been doing this forever. An
yeah,
RC car, like an RC car battery, something that someone can replace without having to go through you guys to get a replacement. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Personally, I will probably get a battery pack mostly just for the review that I guarantee I'm going to do. But I think 99% of the time I would have it all on. Like I would just have it on,
yeah. Even
lights
the
on in the
USB
background.
cable will plug into any power bank. You don't need an actual wall socket. You just plug it into
Sure.
a power
Yeah.
bank. It
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm going to have someone 3D print me a gas
Okay.
pump, and it's just going to sit there and look cool. Um,
All right.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. In your Tabby, you have any questions? Anything you want to ask about?
I'll tell you what impresses me is, like, I'm a kind of a car guy, so I notice
Oh,
all the little details, like the shifter on the inside.
yeah.
You know what
You
kind of
can
shifter
sort
that
of,
is?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you got hood pins on the hood, like those small details,
Yeah.
like the gauges light up, the armrest on the doors, stuff like I don't remember seeing in this kind of scale large vehicle. You normally don't see all that stuff, so that's very impressive to me.
Thank
No, I
you.
think in the large vehicle market for 112, um, I mean, we've got a few small options that are
Yeah,
very inexpensive, and they feel very inexpensive. I
yeah,
mean, let's be honest, they feel that way. But I know like Valaverse has their vehicle coming out, which I'm sure is going to be, great quality as well. Then the Ramen Racer. I mean, we really don't have
yeah. It's not.
that many options of high
Oh,
quality.
surprising, isn't it? It's surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know some of that is probably like you said, it's just the logistics of getting it done and shipping it, and how many people really want to do it. I said before, I think you're going to be surprised. I think the GL version is going to sell way more than you thought, which I hope. I hope that,
I hope
honestly, yeah,
we can
I
only
hope
hope.
this blows your other pre-orders out of the water. I want to see because you've said before, your goal is to get as much licensed stuff as possible.
Yes. Yeah, we want to. We
Honestly,
always want to do the legit route. You know, we're not some
yeah.
shady company doing bootlegs and knockoffs. I don't consider my stuff bootlegs or knockoffs.
No.
They're just without a license. That's all. You know?
Yeah, and it's like you said before. It's like when you present yourself to get a license, you need a
Portfolio.
a portfolio of
Yeah.
why am I going to take you seriously, and you'll
Yeah.
have like all these cool things to set out and go, this is why you take my ass seriously, because look at all this cool shit I made and how many I sold to a bunch of guys that didn't know anything about me a year ago. You know, and I think that's awesome. I think because, I mean, let's be honest, nobody gets into business to lose money, right? Nobody gets into a business to not
Right.
make money. I own my
Right.
own business. Inutabi
Yeah.
works for a living.
It's not a charity. Yeah.
This is not a charity, right? You do it to make money, and the goal is to make money doing something you love.
Yeah.
And the end result is a license agreement gets so much more notice, like exponentially more notice. And you get the push of a big company there to go, hey, this is this cool thing we're offering.
Yeah.
So I wish you, honestly, I wish you
Thank you.
nothing but the best.
Yeah.
I want to see Ramen Toys and other independent toy makers like Spiro and Valaverse and the ones you mentioned earlier that I didn't know about that I'm going to find out about after we get off this stream here.
Yeah.
And I'll to hashtag support indie toy makers. This is the time, because all of us have complained about the prices and the increases of first party stuff, and the gap between first party and third party pricing is closing. And for me personally, it made the decision so much easier to make the leap. Ramen Toy is a proven brand.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Jeremy's the man. Love that dude. Love that guy. I think he also said up here earlier, I might have missed it, Jeremy, that he said he placed an order. I believe.
Yeah, he said he want to buy 2.
Yeah, he's going to buy 2. I have a feeling I might do that too. I think. Yeah. I just don't know that I can't. One,
again, it's a free will. I did not force you guys to buy 2.
No. Right? No. You did by making cool shit.
Yeah. So.
You forced us by making really cool stuff. Yeah. So I'm in on Machina. I'm in on Ramen Racer. I'm in on the Marshall. You got me. I'm hooked. What are you getting in your Tommy? Go ahead and tell him you're getting everything.
No, definitely the heads for Lof Gungren. Or whatever we call it. Definitely, because I need that. Machina, both versions. I might have to get a GL, but I don't have Kato money, so I can't get 2.
I don't have Kato money.
Aren't you also redoing or something with the 80s Commanders, like a different paint version or something?
So what happens is that, again, we evolve, right? Ramen Toy, Kaizen, always doing better, evolving. It is not about reissuing. It's not about we're trying to slap customers in the face that, oh, you just bought this and then now you got that. Bearing in mind that the release of the 80s Commanders, the first time was 2021. We did the 3-pack in 2022, and then this year we are refreshing it with the retro packaging. It might be the final one because we're pretty much done. So it's not exactly like we should have done this in the first place. No, it's like we're evolving as we go, right? You get iPhones every year, a brand new model. You don't complain about that. So anyways, I'm digressing.
No, I think it's Scott Hughes said, what if you made a battery pack that just accepts a rechargeable battery that is commonly available at a store? In other words, ship the battery pack without the actual battery. Battery's not included, folks.
Yeah, but it all depends on the configuration of that existing battery pack, the size of it, whether it fits the trunk, and then the voltage of that rechargeable battery. If it's only like 2 pieces, because I'm sure 4-piece wouldn't fit in there with the additional casing. So again, lots of considerations. Thank you for the suggestion, Scott. But yeah, I will look at all the angles.
I am sure that idea crossed your mind. It came across the table because it's just about finding the best way to do it, not only not only monetarily but logistically. Like what's going to be
Yes.
good for the consumer, but what's also
Yes.
going to be make sense for manufacturing. It's all
Yes.
got to, because in a perfect world, you would just make a spare tire sized battery, and that would be good. That would be
Yeah,
awesome. But
custom
that
made, right?
is
A custom
ridiculous.
tire
Yeah,
battery.
yeah. There's nothing difficult about that at all. That would be
Piece of cake.
simple to do. Yeah, just you'll get right on that. All right. So we've been on for about an hour or 20. Inutabi, you got anything you want to add before we start winding down? Any new questions? Folks in the chat got any? Just it's time to shoot questions before we start getting you guys out of here because I'm hungry. Honestly, I need to eat.
No, I think that's it. I'm very excited for everything that's been announced and looking forward to. I'm probably going to have to get a GL now after that sound effect.
After what? After this one right here? After this? Let me tell you what. I just got cold chills.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Well, we appreciate Ramen Toys and making their way the only way they know how, and and you know, that's I think it's awesome. You guys are doing great stuff. I know you're the face of the team, but I know there's a lot of people behind the scenes getting things done, artists and manufacturers. So big shout out to the folks who don't get the screen time, that do the labor. So thanks everyone behind the scenes. Ace, I can't thank you enough for coming on. It was unexpected. I'm glad you took the invite. I appreciate you being here. Everyone in the chat, always appreciate you guys, super chats, and everyone that's willing to put up with us rambling on about toys for an exorbitant amount of time. Again, Ace, thank you so much. I hope you sell a Brazilian of these things. All of Ace's, let's see, his Instagram, his YouTube, his Facebook is all in the description, as well as Inutabi's and my own. Subscribe, follow Ace. He's always quick with the updates and letting people know what's going on. So for the good or bad, he lets everyone know what's happening, and that's something that we appreciate. Thanks everyone in the chat. Inutabi, you want to take us out?
Sure.
I won't cut you off.
Yeah, I know how you are.
Ace, if you'll stick around just after the outro there, just so we can tell you bye and all that good stuff.
I want to say thanks for Ace for coming by and stopping through, and we really do appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that checked out the live stream. Thanks to Cato for having me. See you down the road.
All right, I'm going to close out with this fantastic video again, because you can't have too much of this.